Greetings, everybody. This is Morning Eggnog. My name is James Font. With me, as always, Caleb Font.
Good morning, everybody.
And the very special guest, Rebekah.
Good morning.
So, Rebekah is Caleb's older sister.
Mm-hmm.
One of them, yes.
One of them. And the one that lived with him the most.
Yes, because my two other sisters are over 10 years older than I am. So that really we weren't together for very long before they moved on and out.
I was basically his mother-like figure.
Yes.
Kept him under my protective wing.
Is that what it was?
He was like, I thought it was a sledgehammer.
Protective sledgehammer.
Not that your mother was not a good mother, but Caleb just had two mothers.
He had four.
I had
5.
I had
Four.
4?
Rachel,
5.
did Rachel ever try to
was a
mother
little
you?
bit of a...
Yeah, you guys were, I was kind of the guy, I just kind of went along with pretty much whatever they wanted to do, and I was just like, okay,
I can do that.
I can do that.
Haha, I'm 10.
Unless he lost at Monopoly, and then he wasn't like, okay. He was like, oh.
I still don't play Monopoly. I don't. And I don't
Do
play
you still-
Clue.
There we go, Clue. I think I played the last game of Clue with Caleb because we were playing with
It's been
with
over
Marty.
7 years.
Good Lord, really?
Yeah, because it was before we got married.
We were playing. Yeah, we were playing with Marty, and he lost, and that was kind of okay. He was kind of okay with that, but he didn't want Marty to win, and I didn't do exactly what he wanted me to do to make me win. I don't even know if it was possible.
All I know is she won like 3 or 4 straight in a row.
Oh, no.
And it's like, yeah, I'm sorry. I can't play with you if you're just going to smoke me every time. Like, I have to be able to win or I don't want to play.
That's why I don't play Dutch Blitz.
I know that.
Dutch Blitz. Oh, my gosh. I hate that
Olivia
game.
loves Dutch Blitz, and once in a while I'll be like, all right, we're going to play 10 games, and whoever wins 10 games has to whoever loses 10 games has to wash the dishes.
Yes.
And
so do you just get up between each game and go do the dishes?
Pretty much, because she obliterates me at Dutch Blitz.
Okay, well, he was like a chess maniac when we were little, and he would beat me every time because he wanted to think about the move, and I don't like thinking.
You're just like, let's do it.
I don't think in strategy. I just move it because, ooh, that looks like a nice spot. And the one time out of the 1,000 games we played that I was winning, he quit before I could beat him.
Caleb, how old were you? Was this 2 years ago?
Yeah, just about.
I will always remember that.
I was an awful sport.
Yeah.
I was just an absolutely awful sport. And the problem is now it's reaping because Annabeth is a terrible sport. Oh my gosh. She is so bad. So the other day we were racing up the stairs.
Oh, no.
And she's like, okay, Daddy. And, she likes to cheat. So she like gets 3 or 4 stairs before I can take off. And then she runs up the middle so I can't get around her. And so the one time, it's whoever touches the top step. So I actually got there first and touched the top step, and she flipped out. She like ran back downstairs and went and hid. She was so mad. Oh,
I liked playing one of my nephews. We would play a game, like a computer game, and I'd start winning, and he'd be like, let's play another game, and he quit. He just turned it off. I'm like, really?
Wouldn't give you the satisfaction.
Because he was way better at it than me, and so if he was winning, we were fine, yeah. But if he started losing, like, let's play another game. Let's play a different level, and he just quit. I'm like, Asher, I will fight you.
The little girl I nanny for, her older sister would always say, last one up is a rotten egg. Well, she now will say, first one up is a rotten egg. And she runs up really fast, and we just walk really slow behind her.
And then you're like, ha, you're a rotten
sure,
egg.
go ahead, be a rotten egg.
that's funny.
You should get her a rotten egg sometime. And be
I
like,
should.
this is what you are.
This is what you are.
Oh.
And then she will forever have problems and need therapy later.
Yeah, that's okay. My
nanny
nanny ruined my life. That's why I'm not a
said
nanny.
I was a rotten egg.
Yeah.
But you're like, but you ran up the stairs first. Anyways.
It's another game that Rebekah and I used to play a lot. It was Mario Kart on the 64. And we were so competitive. And I could actually take her on most of them except for one.
Was it the beach level?
Koopa Troopa Island.
She could just absolutely obliterate me on that one level.
And
that is the best level in the game, in my opinion.
I like the rainbow map because it's so long. And I love the dogs, especially when you put it in reverse, where it's like psychotic. It's just amazing.
But I just had that trick where I could get my mushrooms. I'd save my mushrooms, and I'd hit that secret passage every time, and he would be like, no.
Yeah. And
and if you've played that map before and you know what we're talking about, it is super satisfying
when you hit the
when you get the secret passage.
I know each level actually kind of has a secret, but I've never discovered them all.
Nope. I think Rainbow Road has like you can skip a huge chunk of the map if you drive across this invisible road.
Right.
Really?
I never figured that out.
Maybe it was maybe it was the Nintendo DS version.
I do know that there's a place where you can like jump, and if you're lucky, you'll catch the lower section and miss like a whole bunch. But if you miss, you
die.
You die, or have the little dude come down into the little cloud of happiness.
So Rebekah, what are you up to now? You're doing nannying.
Yes.
And then are you still doing Trinka at all?
Well, she is on a hiatus.
So let's explain. First of all, where does the name Trinka come from?
Well, Trinka is the pretend name that I use when I play with little children because, they always say, well, what's your pretend name? Well, what's your pretend name? And somehow I came up with Trinka because it's like a trinket, and I love trinkets. So Trinka is that.
I like it.
That's the pretend name I always use.
See, I don't hang out with kids, and so I didn't know there's pretend names.
You never use your real name. You always come up with a pretend name, especially if you play with girls.
Oh, see, I always played with my nephews.
Starlabelle.
No.
My name is Starlabelle. My name is Lulubelle. I don't know.
Oh my gosh, those sound like pony names. My little
Starlabelle.
Starlabelle. Yes.
Yeah.
So that's where Trinka came from.
Okay, Trinka. And then where did it bloom into the idea of becoming your own artist?
Well, I have worked with children for a long time, and I am constantly using music in my teaching, and I would always be making up songs as I would work with them, just about anything like, oh, it's time to get your coat on, coat on, coat on. And it just comes easily to me. And so I decided, well, I would like to create music that is age appropriate, but that teachers could also use in their curriculum, especially for preschool age groups. Because as a preschool teacher, you are constantly looking for
decent music,
but also music that you can use in your lesson plans that can be considered a lesson. So that is.
And have you talked to any people about using it in their curriculum?
I haven't lately, but I have had some teachers say, "Oh, we use this at circle time."
Oh, that's really neat.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't get any royalties from it?
No, I'm not quite that.
You need to be more money hungry and greedy.
I know. I really I really don't know where it's going. I'm working with it.
So yes, Rebekah, it lives in Nashville, and she has a dog named Dojo. And what is Dojo?
He is a mysterious, magical beast. I have no idea what he is.
Is he a black lab something?
I think he's some sort of flat-coated retriever mixed with a corgi. So he's a giant body.
World?
Yeah,
he's a giant body and itty-bitty little legs.
I've never met him in person, so.
Actually, our next door neighbor has a dog that looks like Dojo, except it's blonde.
Ah, so it's probably a regular.
I have no idea.
Retriever.
I just looked. I was watching him go, and I'm like, short legs, long body, big head, long tail. Wow.
Yes.
That looks like Dojo, except gone blonde.
So that's fun. What? I don't know.
Okay.
Animals.
Throwing random information in there.
Yes.
I have a beagle mix thingy. He's cute and really old.
I can't believe he's still alive.
Yeah, he's like 12.
12?
He's 12 years old. He's 12 years old and really white.
Mm.
And I gave him a bath the other day,
Skippy,
and he hasn't Skippy. He has not had. Good Lord, he has not had a bath in a long time.
Yes.
And so I went over to Mom and Dad's and gave him a bath, and the mud just rolled off him.
Ooh,
it was pretty gross.
Yeah, that's why I don't have an animal yet.
Yeah,
Yes.
Animals.
It's a whole other world in the city when it comes to animals, because they are like children, and they also have a lot of rights.
Right?
Oh my word! Yes. Now it is a law in Nashville that if you leave your dog in the car and somebody thinks that it's an inhumane situation, they have the right to break your window.
Even if it's down.
Even if it's down, yes. So
That's cool.
So I am terrified. I think, okay, I have to run into the bathroom. I have 5 minutes. Hopefully, when I come back,
My
window
not
will
broken.
be. My window is not broken.
Because if you leave all the windows down and like you leave music on, you leave the car on with your keys in it, and you have an extra key, and you just have a TV playing for the dog, and people are still like, well,
You left him there.
You left him there for
Right.
more than 10 minutes. I sat in my car and watched him, and I was very upset about that. My kid was screaming in the back.
Exactly.
And I neglected my kid and actually locked him in there for 10 minutes while I went to break your dogs out of her. Anyways.
Yes, no. But then if you leave it at your apartment, it's neglect. So basically,
It's a
it's
lose-lose
a
situation.
catch-22 situation.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think some of the Dog Walkers Association worked that one out.
Mm-hmm.
That's always because we never dealt with that. We never took Skippy anywhere, and obviously you don't have a yard living in the city,
Right.
or much yard, and you can't just leave your dog out for hours at a time.
Yeah,
No.
I remember your dog kennel in the backyard.
We had a dog kennel.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, the dog kennel.
the dog kennel.
So we had Skippy on a tether from a tree to the garage, and that's where he would spend most of his time. But when we would have company over, when he was younger and more rambunctious, we had an old van that we just kind of put him in for hours at a time, and it just sat back there, and that was Skippy's kennel.
Well, it's spacious.
Yep, and
Plush
he
coverings.
was so excited after being in there for a couple hours to get out of there. I mean,
Yes.
he did not like the van.
Right.
it was just so funny. I was like, "Where's Skippy? Oh, he's in the van in the backyard."
Although one time it was hazardous because I think we had gotten rid of the van, and so we kept him in the lesser cared about Oldsmobile,
Oh,
and he chewed the seatbelts
Oh my. Yes.
like almost in half, and so we kind of sewed them back together for a while until we got new ones. But it was
I hope we don't get in an accident.
we might die.
Yes.
Beck and I are a tad bit nerds.
Mm-hmm.
We
Woo, woo,
Yes.
woo, woo. Nerd alert, nerd alert.
Is that what that was?
Yep.
The nerd alert. And so one of our favorite books growing up was actually Harry Potter.
Which, by the way, we had to read in secret.
Yeah, our mother refused to let us read those
And
books.
I've never read it because my mother was the same way, and then I just didn't care.
Yeah. I think that's a lot of homeschool kids are like that. They're like missed out on that time where you're like, it was amazing. And the sad thing is I still listen to it. Actually, I'm listening on book 4 right now. I'm in the middle of book 4, and just great, absolutely good storytelling. But in the homeschool area that we're in, it was like banished.
Burn the books.
Exactly. That book is of Satan.
Well, I remember being 14, going to the library. Yes, I still go to the library to this day.
I love the
And
library.
thinking, I'm 14. I think it is my choice now to read these books because I don't think that I'm going to want to become a witch or believe in witchcraft, but I was wrong.
You're like, now I'm Wiccan.
Now I'm a witch. No, just kidding. But I have been sorted.
Yes.
Yeah, who are you?
Can you guess?
No, I don't know this. Caleb, guess.
I would guess Ravenclaw.
Oh, you're right.
And so you told me the other day that you went on Pottermore and
Yes.
and did all that. So I was like, oh, I'll go on. And I was thinking, yeah, I'm probably Gryffindor or Hufflepuff. I'm like, those are probably my houses. I was wrong.
What did you get?
I got Ravenclaw.
Well, no, that makes sense because Ravenclaw, they think it's just, a lot of it is they think that Ravenclaw is just for smart people and intelligent people, but actually it's a creative house as well. A lot of artists, oh my, listen to me. A lot of artists come from Ravenclaw.
Yeah, artists, and then also like the doctor side of the wizarding world comes from.
Yes.
And actually, that was when I did my. Oh my gosh! So I did the wand too, and the
Of
Patronus
course
and
you
everything.
did.
So I was like, if I'm going to go this, I might as well do all nerd. But I wound up getting a Hawthorne wand with dragon heartstring, 13 inches. Just so anybody wants to know.
13 inches.
13 inches. Anyways,
Size does matter.
size does matter in the wizarding world.
Yikes. Take that.
This is all staying in.
This is all staying in. But anyways, and so doing the research, I found out that that particular wand and my Patronus and everything just kind of added up to either I was going to be really evil, or I was going to be like kind of a doctor in the wizarding world. And so I thought that was really interesting.
Yes.
And so what about you?
I have a sycamore wand, which is a wand for, they said it's an adventurer's wand.
Nice.
With a phoenix feather.
Ooh, you got the phoenix feather.
And 14 inches and a quarter.
Wow. So you're
And bendy.
And bendy. So you actually got a longer, because the average wand is between I think it's 10 to 14 inches is their standard wand length.
What's the girth?
I have no idea.
Oh, poor James.
He's just over here on his phone like, I have no idea what's going on.
I am uploading to our Instagram to keep our followers in the know.
Okay.
It's important. It's important. But anyways, so we're huge nerds into Harry Potter. We like it, and it's super fun. One of the things that has recently popped up is Mary Poppins.
Oh, Mary Poppins.
Yeah. And so one of the things is that Mary Poppins went to Hogwarts.
Which would make sense if you've watched the movies or the theater productions. She's definitely a witch.
Yeah. And so the funny thing is a lot of homeschoolers like to do the Mary Poppins. Actually, I think last year they did Mary Poppins, and I'm just snickering to myself going, they don't know it, but they just did a Harry Poppins movie. Or they just did Harry Poppins.
Harry Poppins.
There we go. It's a Harry Poppins.
It's a Harry Poppins.
James is now hiding behind a white wall of, he's blowing his nose.
Yeah.
I was
behind his soundproof foam.
Yes.
So our soundproofing on the set here consists of one 2x2 foot square of recording. What are you doing?
I was gonna take a picture of you with your foam wall here, the invisible one. Anyways, so Mary Poppins, you said you knew what school she went to.
Oh, yes. And I think it's going to shock people because when you think of Mary Poppins, you think of a paternal nanny who loves children. But I just watched the theater production of Mary Poppins, and she's a creep. And oh yes, there is one scene where the children are not teaching or treating their toys nicely, and she says, you better be careful because they may not play nicely with you. She makes the children go to bed by snapping her hands, and then the toys come alive and do this creepy dance around the children.
Oh my.
It was terrifying. So yes, she's also full of herself. She's constantly looking at herself in the mirror. So I think, ladies and gentlemen, that Mary Poppins was a Slytherin.
Oh, say it not.
Oh, I am saying it. I mean, look at the evidence. She was definitely a Slytherin. But that's okay. If you're a Slytherin, we love you too.
Kind of.
Sort of.
Except, so neither one of us are Gryffindor, so it's okay. We're not offended by you completely.
But do you have a favorite character, I guess, to kind of wrap this up?
Oh my goodness, favorite character. Of the base, the main three, or to kind of spread it out?
No, I just mean in general, everybody is included in this.
Okay, so I would have to say my favorite character is Umbridge.
What?
I like Dobby.
Because she is one of the most best evil characters I have ever like. You just, when she shows up in the book, you just absolutely hate her from the like. She wrote her so well that I so I'm kind of going from the perspective of just absolutely hate this character. And how happy you feel when she is defeated.
That's true.
Like, it makes you so happy inside.
An interesting perspective.
Yeah, so I thought I would make it just kind of weird like that. But Professor Umbridge is definitely one of my favorite characters.
Okay.
Not because she's awesome, but because she is so evil.
I understand that. I get that. Dumbledore is mine.
Oh, yeah.
I love Dumbledore. He's so mysterious, and that's why I love the newest movies, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, because you are starting to be able to see a little bit more of his story. And I love Dumbledore. He knits. I knit.
He does.
I used to knit.
You used to knit. I'm so proud of you.
So I haven't seen the second one yet. Would you recommend it?
I would, yes. But I think they're going to make it, well, they're obviously turning it into a franchise, so don't expect an ending that ends
Well, I mean that ending that ends.
You mean like the Marvel universe?
Yes.
How nothing's gonna end?
Or
I
Star
think
Wars.
they said they're going to make 7 movies.
7?
Well, it's supposed to span 20 years.
Okay, that would make sense. And so actually pretty soon they're actually going to meet the child.
And they're gonna split the 7th
Voldemort.
one in half.
Probably. Just like Voldemort's soul.
Yes.
For all you Potter fans out there.
That's right.
And us muggles have no idea what you're talking about.
So I do have a question. I went to a dinner party
That's fun.
the other night, and the lady that was the hostess, she is very intuitive, and she asked us this question, and I wanted to ask you all because it's really an interesting one. If you can invite 5 people to dinner, who would you invite?
First of all, why 5? Because that's a weird number.
I don't know, but she said 5,
5
so
is such an
I'm
awkward.
saying
Wait,
5.
I guess then there'd be 6 people there.
Then there'd be 6.
Okay, that
Okay.
makes more sense.
Okay,
Anyways, 5 people. Well,
5 people.
if you're married, does your wife count as a person
What?
to invite in this scenario,
What?
Caleb?
I mean, if
James.
you can, I mean that would you can.
Is your wife a given, or is your
wife
spouse
is,
a given?
Your spouse is a given.
Okay, that's
Yes.
Caleb. Come on, give me some credit here.
Your spouse and your children and Jesus are given.
Oh, okay. That crosses one off
Dang
my
it.
list.
I was gonna invite my children. I wasn't gonna leave them in the gutter.
People
5 people
You can think about it for a minute
I would
while I sing.
one of them would be,
for a dinner party.
I would say
For dinner.
Spielberg.
Oh, he was on mine too. What in the world?
This is getting a little creepy.
This is so creepy.
I would say Spielberg just because his movies are just absolutely incredible.
I'm gonna keep tally on my hands so you know how many you
She's
have.
holding up one finger.
One
That's the
finger.
preschool teacher in me. 1.
5 people to dinner. See, I don't know why I thought you just meant people I know for
Mm-mm.
some weird
Anybody.
reason.
What?
Anybody.
They could-
just,
they
see,
could-
Come on, James.
They could
I
even
took this
be
way too literally.
They
Yeah.
could even be a fictional character.
A fictional character.
Here are my 5: J.K. Rowling,
Mhm.
Nice.
C.S. Lewis,
Always.
Oh yeah.
Steven Spielberg,
Yep.
Amadeus Mozart, and then J.R. Tolkien. Now, I will tell you why I would invite these 5. Because I love creative people. And I especially love creative people who are able to tell a story. And I feel like these 5 are able to create a world and tell a story using imagination that is just draws you in, whether it's music or film or writing. Yes, that's my 5. Obviously, I have thought about this.
Yeah, I was gonna say it sounds like a very creative core group.
Ravenclaw.
Now, see, I have creative people I would like to invite, like Joe Rogan.
Yes,
He's a very interesting person because
the podcast god.
I think he has the number 2 podcast in the world right now.
Okay.
He's an extremely good interviewer, and I really enjoy him. Caleb, do you have any more ideas?
I was
You said
thinking
Spielberg.
Edison.
Edison, that'd be. Ooh, I want
Oh.
Tesla now. I'm gonna have Tesla.
Maybe
Tesla
he'll give
is
you a
is
Tesla.
a company.
No, Nikolai Tesla.
Oh, Nikolai Tesla. Okay.
You said Edison.
Yeah, Edison.
So inventors.
An invent
be
because he made electricity.
Screw it, Elon Musk too. I like Elon.
Oh, he's an odd duck, but yeah.
He's an extremely odd duck, but he's a billionaire because he made PayPal and then was like, I'm gonna make an electric car, and then to make more money, I'm gonna make this flamethrower. That's not a flamethrower.
What does that mean?
It's
a flamethrower,
it's not
but not-
technically a flamethrower.
Because that would be a weapon.
Yes and no. It only, I think a flamethrower, I don't know the exact definition, but it can't, a certified flamethrower can shoot flames like 10 feet or something, and this only like shoots out fire like 8 inches or something.
So you can light a fire with it.
Yeah.
So
Bonfire.
It's basically an acetylene torch in the shape of a gun they molded. That's really it.
Wow.
It really is pretty simplistic. Anyone could make their equivalent.
it's a big cigar lighter.
Pretty much. I think
Or
you'll burn
hold
all.
Does
still.
anybody have a light? Oh my lord.
And it's a beard shaver too, while you're lighting your cigar. So there's
Yes.
I have 3 so far.
Okay.
I have
So
just 2.
So technically inventors.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Maybe one of the founding fathers would be kind of fun. Like just their idea of what our nation should have looked like at the beginning.
I think Benjamin Franklin would be an interesting
Oh, my
person to have at
goodness.
your table.
I don't know if I'd want to have him at my table. Playing Assassin's Creed, if he's anything like that version of him, is very inappropriate.
Yeah, he was kind of
He was a little bit of a...
He's sleazy.
A
little bit.
But he's on
Hide your wife, hide your kids.
Because Benjamin Franklin's coming over.
and had your husband because...
He's French. Just kidding. He's not French. I was schooled in homeschool.
Schooled and home.
I was homeschooled, ha ha ha, which means I'm smart-ish. See, I'm thinking more modern people. I don't want Sinatra because now I know more about his past.
Well, you know...
He would make an interesting party partner.
A very racist party partner.
He'd be a very drunk party partner.
Yep.
You want to hear another song?
No, Frank, just sit down. Just sit down, Frank.
Down. Oh, my.
Who else? Bill Burr. See, I'm thinking way more. I should think way back in time, but these are my people.
There are no
these are
rules.
people I would want to talk to. Bill Burr is a
Yes.
very interesting person. He's a comedian, and he has his own podcast, and he has different medias, and he's more left wing, but he's very conservative in a lot of ways. Like, he understands. He's like, to be on the left wing where everybody's flipping out over little things, he said, is very frustrating. But he's like, then I look at the right wing and they're also insane. So he doesn't really know where he stands. He's like, I lean more left, but at the same point, everybody's crazy. He's like, I really don't agree with anybody.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, though, some of the best conversations you have are with people who have different opinions than you do. And they bring a lot to the table. Me too. I do too.
Okay, so Abraham is another one from the Bible. Because or maybe Noah. Actually, switch that for Noah, because he was actually there before the flood and after the flood. So that would be interesting.
Ooh, King David.
King David would be a cool one. And then
that would also be, no, David, sit down, stop singing.
Exactly.
Put your clothes back on.
Put your clothes back on. And Gandalf would be a really interesting person to sit down and talk to.
Well, and a show, because he could make smoke rings.
I was going to say blow smoke
and
rings.
And David Blaine, because he could just wow you. He can shove a pin through his hand.
Magic.
Also, he can sit in a clear box for hours at a time.
That is a talent.
Yeah.
And
he can
magical.
hold it, and he can swallow a fish and spit it back up.
Poor fish.
And a frog. I think he did it with a frog once.
Could that be considered animal cruelty, though?
Probably.
Definitely in Tennessee.
Definitely in Nashville. Probably not all of Tennessee, just
In
Nashville.
That's true.
So, according to something I kind of researched, but not a whole lot.
Okay.
Did you know that there are more tigers in captivity in Texas than there are loose in the world?
That would make sense.
And the best way I heard it explained was, Joe Rogan was the one that said this. The best way he explained it was, there's a guy who got a tiger. He's like, there's no law against it, so he got a tiger. And his neighbor went, well, he can't be the only one with a tiger, so I'll get 2 tigers. And so the first guy goes, well, he can't one-up me like that. I'm going to get 3 tigers.
Well, shoot.
Then another
like
guy
Texas.
from another town says, like, I'm going to get 10 tigers.
Oh
There's no law against it.
How many tigers do you got on your property?
All the tigers.
All the tigers.
All the
I
tigers.
have all the tigers in all the world.
I think it'd be interesting to sit down with Donald Trump and talk to him.
Oh, Donald Trump would definitely be an interesting person.
Again,
to
these
talk
are just
to.
people I want to talk to. I'm not necessarily. Oh, it would make for an interesting, very
That would
interesting
be-
dinner party.
Yes.
I want to get Hillary. No.
No.
I want to get Obama.
Bill Clinton
Bill
would be
Clinton would
interesting.
be very fun.
I did not.
What? Oh, I did not. I thought you said octonaut. I'm like,
No, I did not.
so do you want to invite, barnacles to your...
I want to get.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You don't know
No.
Octonauts? Oh my goodness.
So,
it's a fantastic kids show.
It is a fantastic kid
We're
show.
I work at a non-screen family.
Oh.
You are brave.
I am. And talented.
A non-screen.
Yeah, that would take... Do they pay
That's why I sing all the time.
So do they pay you
keep my
extra to do the non...
So wait, you're not allowed to have your phone out. Like, are you allowed?
No, I
Okay.
mean, I can use my phone,
Got it.
but we don't watch TV. That's not what we
so
do.
you gotta do stuff.
We have to do stuff, which is probably why I decided to start writing children's music,
Yeah.
because you have to come up with a lot to try to keep them entertained. It's a long day.
So basically, you're writing the story, you're interacting with it, and you're producing it
Yes.
all in one.
If things get a little bit hairy, I'll say, Anna, let's sing a song about going up the stairs. And she says, Yay! We're going up the stairs. 1, 2, 3. And then it's a math lesson. And I say, oh, my job is done. You're brilliant now.
There you go. I am wearing a comfortable shirt.
So yes, if you go to our Instagram, Morning Eggnog, you can see his lovely dad shirt.
Yes, because it's actually a Saturday. We're recording on a Saturday. And so this is my Saturday shirt.
At a normal time at 8 o'clock instead of, 8:30. We started at 8:30 instead of 6 a.m.
Yeah.
Where Caleb and I are both morning people, but I don't really talk in the morning. I realized after starting our podcast, I don't really talk a whole lot in the morning.
Yeah,
Well.
I'm actually probably the more talkative one.
Oh,
Yeah.
me too. It's because we're blood related. Boop, boop.
That was a fist bump, people.
Yes. I did not just boop his nose.
Because we both did it. I think we both did it.
Boop.
Boop, boop.
Well, I think your shirt is like a party.
It is. It's actually almost kind of mind-melting when you look at it for too long. So, because there's a lot going on in this shirt.
It's pretty.
No, but yes, I'm sorry about not having a whole lot
That's
for trinka. But the thing is that I am, okay, so here is the thing. I am wanting to continue to write children's music. But I think having a fake name is sort of like lying to children. So when they ask me what my name is and I say Trinka, that's not true. And children really like truth, and I'm really all about that. So I still want to write music, but I think I'm going to recreate her into me.
I think that's a good idea.
Because I prefer to have it be a little bit more natural. I think it was a little too stagey for me, and I prefer to be a little bit more natural with children. But also, for any parent out there who's thinking, how can I get my children to do anything? They won't listen to me. Music and puppets. That's all I have to say. They will listen to a puppet before they will listen to you. So that's a little tip for you.
I have that same thing too. My wife's talking to me, and then she breaks out the puppets and music, and I'm just like,
You're like,
whatever, honey. I'll
"Oh."
do whatever you want.
She takes off her sock, draws little eyes on it, and says, "So, Caleb, what are you doing?
She like
I
walks.
think you should take out the garbage."
And he's like, okay.
Oh,
and
I'll
she
do
says,
it.
I'll sing to you as you do it.
We're taking out the garbage, the garbage, the garbage. We're taking out the garbage, the garbage.
As Caleb skips outside.
Yeah, we're standing in the kitchen. Hi, honey. I'm not doing that. No, not the puppet.
The baby. I think you should change the diaper, Caleb. We're changing the diaper, the diaper, the diaper.
Oh my word. Yes. No, but honestly, when I was a preschool teacher, I had 10 3-year-olds that I could take care of by myself. Trying to keep 3 10-year-olds from killing each other
3
or
10-year-olds?
themselves. No.
3 10-year-olds. Wow, they produce.
I
You mean
can
10
count.
3-year-olds?
I mean 10 3-year-olds. Yes. Anyway, no, thank you for correcting me. Anyway,
Man.
but trying to keep them from killing themselves or each other is a job. And there was a little boy who would not listen to me, and we were at circle time, which means you sit in a circle and you learn the lesson there. It's very short, but he was not listening to me. And I had this puppet in my pocket, and I pulled it out, and I kept talking, but I stared him down with it like this as
Oh my gosh.
I was talking, and he started to cry. Which is, I'm not evil. But
no, that's amazing. I should start doing that with
listen.
Olivia. Or Olivia should start doing that with me.
you just do it like this, and you keep talking, and see
You're
how
like, yep.
intimidating that
You're
is,
like, yep.
Caleb?
This hand here is just slightly intimidating.
I'm telling you what.
If you want to look at it, we'll go to Instagram at Morning Eggnog.
Instagram, yes. But yes, there will be new music, and when I do actually have a YouTube page and new music to share with you, you will be the first to know.
Which will be fun.
Yep. And then
Yes.
Rebekah, again, lives in Nashville, and we are here in Ohio.
I
So
do.
the next time she's on the podcast will probably be next Christmas.
Next Christmas.
Yeah,
Maybe.
sometimes she comes in the middle of the.
Or we can take the whole recording studio there because we're pretty mobile.
Okay.
Yeah, there's pretty much nowhere that we can't go as long as we have electricity.
Possibilities are endless.
Are endless. We're here in the middle of the forest. Do you hear that rumbling in the background? That's a generator.
We put it as far away, but we only had a 50-foot extension cord.
We used James's white chunk of foam, and that's not really working.
It didn't work.
Well, if you need to know how to build a really great soundproof something, I know how.
True.
You just use that stone insulation.
Oh, yeah.
Build a frame with the stone insulation.
That stuff is fireproof, too.
It is. So the whole house could be burning down, and you will be safe within your little cubby.
I'm a little concerned because she has a soundproof room.
I was thinking
she knows how to build
the
soundproof. She's like Castro.
She has this little...
The secret life of a nanny.
Wow.
It's because I like to sing opera to myself in an apartment, and the walls are thin.
Yeah.
So I crawl into my box and sing to myself.
Now it sounds like a casket.
I just lay down in my casket and
sing
think
opera.
about what it'd be like when I'm here.
Oh my.
Oh yeah, what about the coffee that we're actually drinking anew?
So today we're drinking Red Rambler coffee. It doesn't really say much about it. I got it for Christmas. It's really good. It has like a cinnamon taste to it.
Yeah, it's from Wasion, Red Rambler, and it actually has a really good flavor to it.
I would say, as a coffee connoisseur, that it's at least an 8 on the coffee scale.
Yes,
and I
yes,
taste nutmeg rather than cinnamon.
No, look at you. Last week we had Death Wish and almost killed Caleb.
Almost killed me. I almost died. Like, I went to work after drinking the coffee after the podcast, and I was like, oh, man, I'm still a little sleepy. I think I'll have just a little more coffee. And so I started sipping it, and then I got the shakes. I mean, bad.
Oh.
And I was glad I wasn't driving, because the truck would have been like...
Well, I wish I could have tried it, but this is great.
Yeah, it doesn't... It's bitter.
Because it has a lot of...
No, I think we put too much in. It's normally not that bitter. The other times I've had it, it's not that bitter.
It's my fault then, because I was...
Death Wish.
I didn't tell him that to kind of read the instructions, because you should really read the instructions when you're making that high caffeinated coffee.
That's probably true.
And so
don't go out.
Don't
go making...
I think you made it really dark.
I did. Well, that's what I always make anyways.
Yeah.
I just love dark coffee, but that was
Yeah.
not good. It's so funny because I'm probably by far the tallest one in my family. I'm 6'1", and everybody else is below like 5'10" in my family. Especially the girls. And it's so funny because I have the Neapolitan sisters, which
That's true.
I love telling people that I have the Neapolitan sisters. And I really think they need to write a book sometime called The Neapolitan Sisters.
That's what I said too. Mom said it should be titled The Rainbow Girls, and I said, what does that have to do?
Mom, we're not lesbians.
The Rainbow Sisters.
Oh my goodness.
But I said Neapolitan makes more sense.
Yeah, and it has a nice ring to it, the Neapolitan sisters. And each one can kind of give a little bit of their, the story, or like, I don't know.
But we're basically the line to a joke. Like a blonde brunette and a redhead walk into a bar. And that's our life, for real.
And the blonde says, ow.
And the funny thing is, their hair color actually kind of matches their personality a little bit, too.
How so?
You're fiery redhead.
Yeah. And then, sorry, Emily, but you're kind of the black sheep of the family.
No, I would say she's very sensible, actually.
That is true.
She's like the sensible, follow the rules kind of person now that,
Yeah.
And Nita's such a dick.
No, Nita.
No. I love you, Nita. Don't hurt me.
Nita. She is very fancy, though.
I'm
Like,
scared of
she
Nita.
loves... She's the fancy sister. This is what we say. Nita's the fancy sister. Emily is the sassy sister. And they called me the naturalistic, which
I'm not really sure what that means.
I don't either.
It means that your armpit hair is down to the floor.
It is.
Oh, that is just a disturbing image.
Would you like to see?
Have you ever seen that? Have you ever seen that commercial? I think it's a Geico commercial.
Geico?
Never mind. There's a commercial where they're on a motorcycle. I think it's for Geico, and there's a woman sitting on the back of a motorcycle with her arms up around the guy, and her armpit hair is flowing behind her.
That just sounds so disturbing.
I'll put it in the description below.
Hey, women's rights now.
I know.
I'm just kidding.
I think
saying,
everyone should shave their armpits.
I think
honestly,
I do too.
all men. It's okay.
I think so.
That's my opinion. I can have my opinion, Caleb. Don't look at me like that.
You don't have to shave yours. It's a free world, but if you wish to shave yours.
Yeah, that is true. Man hair is kind of gross sometimes.
Man hair is super gross.
Especially if you're Chase Cummings.
What does that mean?
He's hairy.
He's extremely hairy.
Yeah, he's got that fantastic beard for 19-year-old, which just makes me.
He does.
It makes you angry, doesn't it?
It
It makes
does.
you
I'm
real
only
angry.
30 and I'm still patchy, and I see him walk in and I just want to go. You child man, you.
He does. He grew a mustache overnight.
Yep.
Yeah.
He went to a men's overnighter. I think he was about 13 years old, and he came home and I said, James, do you have a mustache? He was like, no. And then he got in the car with his mom and she's like, Chase, do you have a mustache? Yeah.
He drank enough coffee that day.
I thought we could wrap it up with a tribute to my pink flip phone, since you did talk about that a couple weeks ago. And all I have to say is that pink flip phone, that plus cockroaches, if there's ever an Armageddon, they will both survive.
Do you know where that is?
I don't, though.
Yes, Rebekah had a wonderful pink flip phone that I do remember playing a game on once.
It was an LG.
Yeah.
I mean, you must have had that for at least 10 years.
Okay, so here's the story about finally upgrading. I moved to LA. I had a flip phone. I thought, I don't need to upgrade. I'm fine. A homeless man walks out in front of me, pulls out his iPhone, and I said, it's time for me to get a new phone.
Wow.
Oh, the stories of LA. But I just have to say, moving to LA was a culture shock. I moved from here to LA. I learned to drive in LA. Oh, man.
We're used to 2-lane roads where there's very seldom any traffic. We lived in a small town called Evansport,
Yes.
where you would see maybe 10 cars a day.
And it was just
And a couple golf carts.
Straight shot.
All the golf carts.
And then I moved to LA and I cried the first 3 times I had to drive.
Oh, my.
I mean, I was sobbing. Like, I can't do this. And then one time I was on the 405 in the far left lane and I ran out of gas and I had to cut across 6 lanes of traffic while my car was dying to get to the burn.
Oh, my goodness.
Jesus, take the wheel. But it was a great learning experience.
I'm tearing up hearing about this.
It was terrifying. You learn, I feel like every city you go to has unspoken road rules.
They do.
Yep.
In LA, if it's a yellow light and you're turning left, even if there's not an arrow, 3 people turn. Even if it turns red, 3 people turn left, and that's an unspoken road rule.
Yeah, the one in Michigan is it's okay to destroy your vehicle with potholes. They have weird signs too in Michigan. Really weird signs.
Well, Ohio, for everything it is, has amazing roadways.
Yeah.
The roads are very nice.
Yes, they are
We're
very
spoiled.
nice.
And the thing is, when you go, like, if you're on 24, State Route 24, and you are going into Indiana, you see the Indiana sign, and then the road instantly changes to not as good as it was in Ohio. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us. Check us out on Instagram, Morning Eggnog. Check us out on YouTube, James Hunt Podcast. We are on iTunes, Podbean. I'm working on getting us on Google. I think that's all the plugs I can think of. Do you have anything to plug?
Thank you, Becca, for coming on. We enjoyed having you on the podcast.
Thank you for
That was
having
good
me.
fun.
Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you next week.
See ya.